So, Dwight, one question that might be coming up from somebody who watched your last episode on how to do MMO side quests
Right.
is having to create every single one of those quests in detail would
Yes,
be too much work. So,
absolutely.
what is one way you could help combat or eliminate most of the work?
Yeah, so you can think about it in terms of so look, my kind of day job is in IT, and so
Mm-hmm.
working with developers and software developers and things of that nature, and they always like to think in terms of a module, and think of a module as let's think about it in terms of Lego blocks,
Okay.
okay? And so you're going to want to create your own kind of Lego bricks that you can shove into a situation where it makes sense.
Yeah.
So the one advantage of the Lego brick concept or a module concept is, okay, I'm always going to have a standard. It doesn't really matter what game system.
Yeah.
So in a D&D world, I'm going to have a standard foot soldier. I'm going to have a standard archer. I'm going to have a standard mage. I'm going to have a standard cleric.
Mm-hmm.
If you actually want some of those standards, you could actually go to our description below, and Jacob over here has created literally all the characters you could possibly need, starting at level 1, going through level 18 for pretty much all the core races, well, the core classes.
For 5.
And all being human for D&D 5. So at that point, you have this modular idea, like I need a 6th level cleric, I got one.
Yep.
And no idea. But that's kind of the concept, is to create these modular NPCs or groups of people or monsters or whatever that you can always throw at your players without it feeling too, what I'm going to say, like too boring.
Yeah.
But it makes your life a lot easier. You could also have the same sort of concept you could have a standard kind of ruins layout.
Yeah.
That's like a 3-room, a standard home layout. That's like 4 or 5 rooms that
Yep.
look functionally the same. And so as needed, you could easily and quickly, without taxing your brain, just go, okay, you guys are coming across the village. Here's what it looks like. And you throw out your like 4 home layouts really
Yep.
quick. And then you throw out your like 4 archers, your 1 wizard, and your 3 foot soldiers. Okay, you're coming in, you watch an archer kill an old man who's running away. What do you want to do about that? At which point your players are going to engage. It's like, okay, this guy shot an old man in the back. Are you kidding me? Okay, now it's on. And now what you've done is you've been able to create this adventure in 2 seconds as a random encounter type of thing, but you're using the same sort of archetypal things over and
Yep.
over and over again.
And then the other thing you can do if you're like wanting to do like a small cave or a small dungeon that they come across.
Yeah.
Don John has a great dungeon
Yep.
that you can just quickly just fly through. Like, let me just spend 20 minutes real quick before I go.
Yep.
Create like 30, 40 dungeons for me, and then I just use all of those for a good while.
Just print them out.
Yeah.
And then I'll include a link to Don John's resource underneath. It's fantastic. You should use it if you haven't been. You can do the same thing in a modern RPG or a Shadowrun or
Yep.
even a Cyberpunk. I mean, it doesn't really matter. You're going to have the same sorts of like, I'm going to have a couple of like thugs and a couple of so in those worlds it could be a mage, in those worlds it could be a hacker, in those worlds it could be a sniper. I mean, it doesn't really
Yeah.
matter what it is. The point is just to create a set of guys, thugs basically, that you can always throw out at the players that have basically the same stats. And as they grow, just change their stats to grow with them. So now they have a little bit more, they have a better bow, or they have a better gun. They have better skills in order to hit the players. They have maybe there's better ammunition, right? So like now you have flaming arrows versus just regular arrows, or you have hollow point bullets as opposed or armor piercing bullets or something like that they're using.
Give them an extra HP or 2 every now and then.
Absolutely. And as you're growing up, you can just grab your standard group of modular guys and just up their level really quick, and even on the fly you can do that. It's like, okay, they have a little bit more constitution and they have a little bit more dexterity, which means they can hit you a little bit more and take a little bit more hits. Perfect. We're done. And that's the end of it. And really at the end of the day, it's like you just want to be able to, it's really nice to have like a notebook or something that has, here's my like 16 guys that I could throw out at any given moment.
Yeah.
Here's some Don John maps if I need to do that in like a Dungeons and Dragons Pathfinder sort of way.
Yep.
If I'm doing modern stuff, like here's some modern buildings that I'm aware of. It's like here's the foyer, here's the server rooms, here's the elevator stacks. There's a vent from here to here that allows my decker to basically send his little droid through to get in and hack things for me. I mean, and you just kind of have these same sort of things where Not all buildings look alike, but to a certain degree, like, let's just be honest, architects typically get the same sort of jobs in the same sort of cities. So a lot of their buildings would look similar.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Specifically for like corporations and such.
Yep.
And then you can always just change it up on the fly as you need to if you're comfortable with that. But the point here is just to have a resource book or buy a couple resource books that you can have at your fingertips so you can quickly throw something in and you're not like spending hours trying to figure out the perfect guy who really could get killed in 2 rounds. I mean, why spend 28 minutes or whatever building a guy who's literally going to be cannon fodder in like 6 seconds of game time? It doesn't make any sense. So that would be what I would suggest to do for creating these little modular things that you can plug into your game anywhere you want and save you a ton of time as you go through MGM. And with that, we'll see you next time.